What's going on, guys? We are here with Getting Mad Real, and we have a very special guest today, the newly 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and soon to be Scomo father, and someone you don't want to run into in a Target if you're taking too many boxes. I'm gonna tell you that much from the stories I hear on the street. So, welcome. Thank you very much for your time, Scomo. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you inviting me on, man. I always like sitting down doing podcasts and little stuff like that with a bunch of people. These are always fun when you get to just sit down and kind of talk with other creators and stuff. So it's good. I appreciate the invite.
Oh, awesome, man! Awesome, exactly. It's one of those things, and it's what prompted me to get. Is like it's so weird, Obviously, you've been a content creator for a while. We'll get into that. But as me as being a fresh one, is like the voices you hear, and you really don't get to know. Like a lot of things are just things on the screen. People's names on the screen, and and a lot of them, people don't have if you don't have if they don't content create or they don't have profile pictures, you don't know what they look like, you don't know how old they are, if it's a boy or a girl, and so we put these imaginary like voices to them probably sometimes and just kind of culminate. So it's good to be able to actually connect and put actual personalities to some of these voices sometimes. But so my first question for you, obviously, it's want to get this out of the way is how how long you been doing this? Like what, and I'm talking like video game into like I'm gonna put stuff out there and share it.
I've been doing it, I guess, since like Madden, what was it, 12, basically, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I had Mutt when it first, came out as a download. I think I downloaded it either the first day or the second day, that it was out as like an add-on that you can get because it really originally didn't come out with the game. But I've always been gaming. I was around, grew up gaming. I've had all the video game systems and stuff like that, and just always was a gamer. And then when the whole basically when I was working retail, left the retail, went home just to kind of play games, and like that's kind of when Twitter and like a lot of the stuff really started like picking up. And I just started finding a few people to play Madden with. Met some people at EA, and I got lucky enough to win like a giveaway online where I got to pick what card I wanted, got the card, and then I already had like a lot of attention to my account because I just won that card in a very, very small community, because it was just starting off at that time. And I went live on Twitch, and I gave away the old Calvin Johnson, and I showed everyone the new Calvin Johnson. It was a lot. It was a lot of fun, and that's kind of where it all started off, I guess.
And so it was like, as you say, you had to back up a second when you talk about meeting other people, because that's one of the things, that the whole reason I started, wanting to content create or even put stuff out there is because in my everyday life, what I lived there was like, I don't even have people that play video games very much knew what I was talking about when it came to Madden.
Right.
So I'm sitting there talking about, there's a promo coming tomorrow. They're like, what the hell are you talking
Right.
about? Like, I have no one to share these things you want to share. As passionate as we are, I had no one to share them with. You know what I mean? So
Right. Of course.
So what avenues did you pursue at that time? Because right now it's very easy. I mean, like you say, anyone can boot up a stream almost now and put content out there and kind of reach out to people.
It was very, very different back then. I mean, there weren't very many sports streamers at all. There was really no one streaming that much Madden. There was E-Rock, there was Code, there was a few people, and like at that time, if you could get 100 people in a stream, that was like the biggest stream you've ever had at that point for like Madden. And it was just very, very different back then. Gibbs and Farrells were doing their own streams and stuff like that, because Farrells was always doing some type of content. So like you had their like weekly stream. There was like no one else like really doing content at all. And then especially like once the Mutt stuff started, there was YouTubers and a few things starting going off, but there was nothing to give you that like daily interaction and something that was going to actually like interact with the community. And that's where like a lot of us, started doing different ideas. We started playing some streams together. I was on E-Rock stream and different stuff, and then we got invited down to EA again and talked to them about ideas and like what we want to do with Mutt. and then we started all streaming together, and that's when we started like the Mutt Crew thing. So like that was like that first thing where we were gonna like set a schedule and actually stream and try to create content basically with everything. That's kind of where it all started right there.
So it definitely was not like you said. It's easy, and I'm gonna say it's easy nowadays because I could say you could put up videos every day. Not everybody's gonna watch them. So I mean, but it was
Right.
a lot more difficult to actually connect with people. So so the name Scomo, I mean, I think I've heard before on your streams, and I'm pretty sure Scott Morgan is your name,
Yep.
and so it came from. So has that always been like when you logged in, did it just come to that, or did someone give that to you, or?
Yeah, I've had that nickname since baseball in like seventh or eighth grade,
Uh huh.
basically. Because I played a lot of baseball growing up. I played college baseball, but when I was in high school and middle school, I was a eighth grader, playing on the high school team, and there was Nomar and A Rod and all the like that was like the fad that was going around with these nicknames. So like that's just kind of where it all came from.
Oh, awesome. I did. Yeah, I always thought it was just a video game, so that's awesome to know.
No,
But like so, you're let's fast forward back a little bit. You're making content. You're kind of getting stuff out there, and you said you're working retail, and you made the decision at one point, that you're gonna just do this full time, and this is gonna become your thing. And so
right,
I know personally, just because I was in music for a long time before content, and as as you start telling people in your family, start telling people around, oh, and they start kind of, oh, well, guess who's here? Then Mr. Big's musician guy, so they start not
right.
really taking you seriously. So did you go through that at all at any point with some people around you that?
I mean, it was always a little different, doing it because especially like when I first started, you
Mm-hmm,
know, it wasn't like a mainstream thing. Like when you talk about it now, of course, everyone knows YouTube and Twitch, and every kid wants to be a YouTuber,
mm-hmm.
and all they see is like mansions and Lamborghinis because they think every YouTuber is freaking Mr. Beast or something like that. But like it was definitely like different, but I also went at things very, very differently. You know, um, when I first started, I was doing the stream stuff, but because it was such new, I was able to meet so many different people. And there were some of the people that I met that just ended up blowing up so fast, like the Cast Nasties and Toke and, a
Mm-hmm,
lot of these other guys. And yeah, at that point, I wanted to create content, but it was hard for me to make money doing it,
mm-hmm.
and I knew how to make money, but for myself, it was hard. And I was just able to put opportunities together. I moved to Miami. I was able to get with another company that basically funded my ideas and some of the stuff that I was able to, fly around the country and go around to events and, meet NFL players and basketball players and Hall of Famers and all this different stuff. And I wasn't creating the content because I didn't have my outlet. I was like, I know this is how things should be done. And this was before the big vlog, and this was before like all the athletes were coming into it. This was long time ago, like before any of these people did anything. I mean, Cash was nervous to leave the house. Like I couldn't even get that dude on an airplane. If you look at a video now, you couldn't even imagine, like, oh, he was nervous. Like, yeah, he was extremely nervous to like do those type of things. And because it was just out of the norm, but I just knew that that was going to be like the direction to like really start making this mainstream. Is just we're sports video gamers. You got to interact with the real, sport. And that was the big like turn. Did a lot of stuff with that. And then my name grew from setting up those opportunities, being, in Cash's videos, being, with Toke and being all this kind of stuff. It kind of made a name for myself. And just the same thing like with the giveaway, just jump on the opportunity, snowball, and, see what happens. And, that's always, been my thing is, too many people have the blinders on, and, I don't care. Like I'll go 20 different opportunities. I don't care about 19 of them failing. You only really need one of them to work. Like that's really all it is. You only need one to work. You get one good one and like you're set. Like
Yeah,
too many people are like so worried about the failure, and the failures do bring stuff down. But yeah, you go with whatever opportunity. It was very, very hard, like streaming and then stop streaming. But like I was like, well, I got this other opportunity. I got this other stuff. I could be growing my own brand. That's kind of getting there, but you just got to jump in the other opportunity. And I did put stuff back, and like you said, I just hit 100,000 subscribers, which took me a very long time. But there was a lot of ups and downs. My channel went completely dead for like 10 months at one point. And it took a long time to like figure out what the right path is. And you got to go down a lot of different paths and then turn all the way back around and come back and start again before you find the right one. And that's basically what it was. It was just trying to figure out what worked for me. And either if it's you hitting me up, and I mean, obviously with the smaller guys or people getting on, biggest thing we will look for is when we say yes to a collab is someone putting in the work. Obviously you've been making your videos for a while, seen you around for a while. It's not like you just started out last week and you're like, hey, I started my new YouTube channel. Will you help me out? Like that kind of stuff. Like obviously, you've done hundreds of videos. I've seen you, working for the last year or two, but like, it's the same thing, that taking the big opportunities, taking the little opportunities, you just got to know like what are the right things. And I'm always a person that usually says yes. It led to a lot of bad decisions, but it's also led to a lot of good decisions at the same time.
Yes. No regrets. That way, I work with kids. That's one thing I preach to them all the time is like, just you're always gonna wish that you can always say, I did that, and that was a bad decision, but you never go back and say, man, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have went and done that. And that's something that I always preach to those kids. So going to that dance or trying out for the team or whatever that little thing is that they got going on. It's like, man, because there's so many things I look back on. And we want to beat up the little versions of ourselves. That we could have done that much better. But that's awesome, man. So it sounds like not, you say you got a lot of things were luck, but it sounds like a lot of passion and hard work and some networking skills, that you utilized. And so I think that's a great message for a lot of these kids out there that think that it's as simple as just, coming up with a cool name and a nice graphic and hitting, stream and thinking they're going to cross their fingers and hope that everything aligns. But it took a lot of that stuff to lay that foundation, man. So I think that hard work is just a testament.
Everyone's gonna have their own niche, and like that you hear that a lot, but like talking to people, networking, and being passionate about community and like meeting everyone. And I love hustling. Like I say it a lot. I've heard you say, I've probably heard me say it a lot. I love making people money. I like making money, but when I can make other people money, at the same time, like it's just a way better situation. And, being able to put myself in opportunities where I've been able to make other people lots of money taught me the right paths and different stuff, and how to do things correctly. So like, it's knowing what you're good at. I knew I was good at negotiating. I know when you sit me in front of a person, I can talk to someone. You give me the information, I can talk to someone. And like some people can just sit down and like, I'm a gamer. I can beat anybody. I can just load up the game all day, every day and beat everybody, or I can sit here and you can, everyone's going to have their own task. And if you can figure out what you're good at and then maximize that the most, I'm good at talking, I'm good at hanging out with people, and I'm good at networking. And some people, CC and some of these other people, a lot of people like tapping their on the back. I made it by myself. I did this all by myself. I'll be the first shit. Like I did this with everyone. Like everyone helped me. I met everyone. I did everything with everyone. And I mean, I feel like there's pride in, both. I mean, if you're able to like, do something on your own, of course, that's extremely prideful. But, if you're able to put the pride aside and know like, hey, I had people to help me. I had people to support me. I saw people, that mentored me and all this different stuff. Like you still got to do the work yourself. Just because you have someone help you, that doesn't mean like they didn't do the work for you,
Exactly. It's the same thing as like, I could probably lift this heavy piano by myself, but if I have 5 people to help me, why the heck am I not going to take their help?
Exactly. Like, I'm always inviting people over. Like I got to move. Like I need everyone to help me in this. And I mean, as long as you can go about it the right situation, and I mean, that's once again was my strong suit. My strong suit was making friends, networking, going to the events. I love going to the events. I've never been a shy person, and especially like everyone thinks like, oh, YouTubers are all energetic. When you get around YouTubers, everyone's quiet. Go to these events and everyone's quiet. No one likes doing anything. You know, when I show up and I'm literally the same person, you know, that I act on stream, you know, it's a little easier. Everyone can open up and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And that's what has put me in the opportunities to be friends with a lot of people that have helped me out, you know, and just being able to learn what your strong suits are and then just maximize on those. You know,
Yeah,
whatever you are passionate about, what you're good about, what you can deliver to the table, you know, that's what you got to focus on. You know, you can do the other stuff, but you got to know like, hey, this is my one good thing that I'm good at. That's got
mm-hmm.
to get the most of your attention.
Yeah, well, that's a great point there. The funny thing is, like you said, that you know, a lot of YouTubers kind of like, you know, are like really quiet when they're not on the. Cause, you know, you see them on there, and
Yeah.
it's like they're like they cannot be like that all the time. You know,
Right.
some of them. But so for yourself, like I can see you, like you can see that you carry your streams. I can see you probably go off, and you're pretty much, you know, the same guy that probably clicks off. But other guys that do that. So do you look at it as a kind of like as a persona that they kind of click on, or is it just like a?
People, I mean, especially like successful YouTubers, right?
Mm-hmm,
When you get a good video, people are like, this is the video. This is what worked. This is
mm-hmm,
what I said then. This is how I acted then. And they build off that. You
mm-hmm,
know, obviously, the more natural it can be for that person creating the content, the more successful the person's going to be. But, you know, you can take things and say, Dr. Disrespect. That's 100% an act,
mm-hmm,
literally wearing a costume and acting like that the entire time.
mm-hmm,
How much is that naturally like him? It's hard to tell, you know, but there's so many people that act like that. And then
mm-hmm,
there are people that just amplify themselves, that turn themselves on for the camera and that kind of stuff. But
mm-hmm,
it's not so much that they aren't like that in their head, but when they're home alone, all they got is the camera, they can be how they want to be
mm-hmm,
there comfortably. It's not that they aren't that person, they're comfortable to be that person. But
mm-hmm,
then when you go put them in a social atmosphere, some people just can't be that person that they
mm-hmm.
want to be in a social atmosphere. And especially with like YouTubers and where it came from, a lot of YouTubers and gamers, why are we gamers? Because we're sitting at home because we're gaming, you know. I mean, if you're really, really good at a game, more than likely there's not many people that were, you know, varsity, king of their football team and played all these sports and traveled around and gamed and really good and all this stuff. You do get a few, but a lot of them that you say, you know, they went to one school, they went to here, you know, they're still living at home, they're still doing that stuff, and they're just comfortable. They're smart, funny, creative people, but that's how they're creative at their desk, in their set, where they're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And the more successful the person can be, the more different atmospheres they can be in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you got, you know, the Mr. Beast or the laser beams and like those guys, you know, that can handle any type of situation. You know, the people that open up more, they don't need to be in their chair with the control in the fan, you know, mic at the exact position and stuff like that, camera right there, you know. And I've seen YouTubers with over 1 million subscribers. They literally can't talk to a camera unless it's like at 1 degree with like the exact same thing and sitting there like I got to be like this, you know. And like it's different for people. It's different.
Mm-hmm. So like I always liken it to almost like because where did they stop and start like a wrestling persona? Like you don't picture wrestlers when they're not wrestling, you know, walking around in their
Right.
trunks and just like mobbing the city. So like for me personally, you know, I can, you know, whenever I'm playing a video game, you know, or you know, so it's all just Madden. I don't play any other game but Madden. So it's all just, you know, it's all revolves around this. So how
Right.
much of you know, would you say does your mind revolve around? Like for me, it's like it's almost like I don't call it like a persona, but it's almost like the wrestling thing. You know what I mean? Where I turn on the stream and I'm playing the game, I'm all into it with these people that I only can relate to this way. But you
Right.
know, but out here, you know, I'm not relating to anybody that way. You know what I mean? And so it is like I'm wrestling for this people, and then I'm kind of just going off and being, you know, I work at a school, work with kids, you know, I do music and
Right.
do other things. I have 2 children, so I'm just that person a lot differently. You know what I mean? So how does that you know, how does that what's your experience with that, I guess?
It's a little different because this is my full-time job, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to an office, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of stuff. You know, The gym, I guess, is a unique situation for me just because there are people that play Madden there,
Mm-hmm.
and now, there there I had subscribers that went to that gym before I even started showing up there, and I literally showed up, and and like so like I had that atmosphere. It's not so much about Madden, but like, if I go visit family or I go
Mm-hmm.
to a party or get invited to, we go to Shannon's work or like, like a work party or that kind of stuff like that. It's not so much Madden, it's more of, what's it like being a YouTuber? Everyone wants to know like how much work is it? Like what do you really do? Because like no one knows exactly like what it is, to do. They see like they hear about, oh, like this guy just sits around and streams all day for 10 hours. Like, yeah, like you got those guys, but like there's a lot to that. There's a lot to the creation. So I would say less Madden talk, with
Mm-hmm.
like that kind of stuff. Um, but my mind is a lot about Madden.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky to a point now where I always have a lot of different things going on. I do the cards. I have a lot of investments that go along all over the place. I have people that I help with stuff. And now with my sponsors, I've been able to get editors. I get people to help me work on stuff with my accounts and everything because it is a full-time job. And if you just want to do that one thing, yeah, you can do that one thing. But I like doing a bunch of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always kind of talking Madden because I'm in discords with other YouTubers and they're talking about titles and video ideas and concepts. I'm in the CFM group chat where we're talking CFM with the other guys. I'm always hitting up McCullough because we're talking about the edits of the day and what we're doing. I got Chandler that's helping me out and we're getting ready for the content tomorrow, what we're gonna plan, how much training do I need for the videos, and like it's a whole thing all day every day getting it all ready. And so I would say it's literally all day, every day. I mean, it's no different than going home and talking to the wife. Shannon knows all the lingo, she knows all the stuff. She's been in this shit for like 10 years also. Like she knows the deal, she
Uh-huh.
knows everything going on. So like, yeah, I mean, it's not so much, once again, I feel I always take extremely pride in it because I feel like you literally get like 95% like real me, like
Mm-hmm.
all day, like you, and like this is what I'm about. And like,
Mm-hmm.
but even when I stream, I talk about the TV shows I like, I talk about the
Mm-hmm.
movies that I like. I like just shooting the shit with everyone and hanging out. I use Madden as my, come on, let's get together. We're
Mm-hmm.
playing Madden. But I mean, you've seen me play many times. The most enjoyable part of the stream is between 10 and 10:30, and I don't leave the front menu. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't even open a pack. I don't do anything. And that's the most fun for me is that first 30 minutes of literally just hanging out with everyone, talking about whatever the sports game was yesterday, new movie trailer, new TV show, are we getting shoes, are we chasing baseball cards today, or the new exciting promo or something like that coming out, at the same time. But that's what I love. I love the community. I love hanging out with everyone. I like having that group of friends. My close. I mean, it used to be funny, like, oh, you only got friends on the internet. Yeah, well, I have I have no college friends. I've moved all the way around, and I'll tell you what, like, I was best man in Toke Nasty's wedding. I live now 25 minutes away from Cece. I've traveled around the world with more people that I've known over the internet, made people more money that I've known over the internet, had more success with the people that I've made over the internet, and have real relationships and like bonds that I feel like will be there forever rather than some like high school guy that I haven't like talked to in 10 years. Like, yeah, like it's fun to like go meet those high school guys and go to the reunions and all that kind of stuff. But I'll take my internet friends over my IRL, known from high school, college friends any day, like any day. And I feel like my internet friends got my back way more than more people, that knew me from growing up or something like that. So like,
So what do you think
it's different.
what do you think it is though? So what do you think it is then right there that connect that connection that is makes it so much more like it's like you said, it's like a thing like you can say that confidently. I can hear you and I can see you say it confidently,
Mm-hmm.
and without
Oh
having to
yeah.
ask any of them. And but you
Yeah.
know that, so what makes that? What is it that makes that? What is it? What's the thing? Do you think that makes that different?
I mean, it's just anything. It's just a bond, you know?
Uh
I
huh.
mean, you can say, like, oh, yeah, you went to high school with this guy for 4 years and stuff like that. But, like, what about sitting in Skype calls or Discords for like 9 hours, 6 hours, like for freaking a year? Like, you literally just spent hundreds and hundreds and hours, with this guy,
Mm-hmm.
But then sometimes, once again, you get to the point where you've helped change people's lives. You've helped make them money. You've helped them leave a job that they didn't like to start a new job where they've made more money than they've ever been able to make and buy new houses and do different stuff like that. When you have like that type of bond, like then that like takes over everything. Like there's been, like no matter how big Cash gets or how big Laser gets, and some of these guys, like there is never one time like I ever text Cash or Instagram and like he's like instantly like always like back because like the people that really remember like, oh yeah, he helped me get to this point, he helped me show this door, he helped me do this. It's the same thing. When I hit 100,000 subscribers, Kevin Toke Nasty instantly calls me. We were together when he had 2,000 subscribers and I had like 200 subscribers. Like those bonds that you have with people, like to be able to know like, hey, you helped me get out of a bar, you helped me quit my job, you helped me get out of the trailer park, you helped me do this, and like all that kind of stuff, that never goes away from anyone. Anyone.
That's and that's real. And that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, it's just what you said there. Those experiences that you've had there, and I think that's and just from just listening to you and hearing you talk, all the time in the morning. That's another a driving factor in you is to not only like you say, get your hustle and get your hustle, but to help make sure that you're helping these guys along the way that you've always been able to connect and in essence continue to strengthen that bond you have with them. So that's definitely it sounds like a driving force in everything you
Of
do.
course.
Now,
I mean, having the good people around you and stuff like that, even like when you talk about community and friends and stuff like that, you got your close friends, you got the people that the more you can get with a very, very close circle, you can have a bunch of people that are in your bubble, right? But then you got your inner circle. And I feel like a good inner circle is like 3 or 4 people, right? You get too big there, you're gonna have way too many things, but like that. But
too
if
many
you can
cooks in
get
the kitchen.
right, you got 2 or 3 really good friends that are on the same wavelength as you, the same energy level as you. They'll tell you when you fuck up or not, you know, and like those type of situations, when you get like that good group and then build off of that and say, okay, and I know it's weird to say this, but like this is real. Like if you got your tier 1 group and then tier 2 group, tier 3, and then all of us, and you're like, hey, your circle with my circle and all of our circles get together, we can all do a bunch of good stuff. When you start getting those things together, that's when better things happen, like our group was, Toke Nasty, CC, Route Combo, Gus, Snap, and that was basically our group. And being around Toke and doing the other stuff, I started doing stuff too. And he started doing stuff. And then, CC had a regular job, Gus had a regular job, and Route Combo had a different job. And they're like, hey, we can do ebooks and we're really good at the game. We can teach people. And they made Madden Turf. And then, got Kevin, blowing up on YouTube. And then, I'm helping everyone do this other stuff. Then CC sees all this stuff happen. He's like, I can do this too. Like, let me go on a trip with you guys, see what's going on. Then he tries. And if you got that like group of people where you can, really rely on to push you every day at the level that you want with your ideas, and that kind of stuff, that's going to, help lead to more success. So like, you know, as much as, nothing to take ever away because CC did do it on herself, but like, once
Mhm.
again, you have the people that inspire you to push you to get you to do those things.
Mhm.
And, some people like doing more stuff with everything. Like and that's me. I like jumping around to a million different circles. Some people like staying right to themselves. I like networking. It's fun. You know, I would rather have more people who know really me because I already know I'm a, confrontational person sometimes. I say exactly what I'm thinking that, not everyone agrees with me. So when I can have the more of an opportunity to actually sit down and talk to someone and say, maybe he's not that big of an asshole. I kind of get him now. Like that just, I like that situation, more. So it's just, it's always different. Having the good people around you, though, it is going to be the key. And too many YouTubers are so worried about their persona, they don't want to do stuff with people. And I mean, there are some people that are going to be good and lucky enough to be able to do no collabs, not friends with anyone, and never interact with the community or never do anything and make it all the way to the top. It's definitely possible. But that takes a lot of luck and a lot of success to get to a point. You work with other people and you get other people to help you and you get more people to support you and be around, you can make it a lot easier, rather than having to, get all the way to the top by yourself.
And it sounds pretty lonely and boring to me. I don't
It,
know.
it, it seems like it. It seems like it.
It's like, who are you sharing this with? You're just going, you're sitting there just, what am I doing?
Right, exactly. Like you're just there by yourself. Like, all right, cool. Nice house.
They're watching the whole time too. They're watching this community that's building together the whole time. And it's not like they're just sitting there and they're oblivious, like you said, to everything else around them. But it's just a stubbornness or for some whatever reason. So, but anyway, how do you see? Now, like I said at the very beginning, and as you let everybody know on Twitch and all his socials, you're going to be a father pretty soon.
Yep.
Now, how do you see, like I said, I have two kids of my own, a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. And to tell you the truth, if it wasn't for them, I would never be doing this because I was a musician. I would be out. I was out. I was never at home. I knew how to play Maddad, because I always played with it, but I was, a draft champions dip-in kind of guy, regs, where you don't really have to maintain. You can just dip in and play a couple times and dip out. And I was at home and I was like, oh, what's this mutt thing? And I kind of just, late night feedings, playing challenges, whatnot. And then I kind of grew. But so how do you see? But so basically saying that just flipped my whole it flipped my script completely. You know what I mean? So how do you see that? Going for you.
Well, I mean, I feel like once again with having the support that I have, of having the editor and having different stuff, my plan is literally like to nothing to change. I mean, it's the same thing. If I can see Cece have 2 kids and, everything and, even make more videos when he had everything, it's just about being organized, just about being organized. I always joke that I'm OCD. I'm not OCD, but like I am a very regimented person. Like I literally wake up. I wake up at the exact same time every time. I eat my food on a fucking timer. I do everything because I feel like if you're gonna push yourself, the biggest thing you can do is form those habits. And like if you can form the habits to go to the gym, you can form the habits to eat right, you can form the habits to drink your water, you can form the habits to wake up at a certain time, you can form the habits to work and push yourself. I don't like taking days off. I don't want to break my habit. Like when I take Sundays off or I take one day off a week where I'm still posting a YouTube video, I'm just not streaming that one day a week. Like there's so many times where I'm just like, I can stream. Like I can stream and I got to tell myself like, nah, like let's just relax. Don't stress yourself out. Don't want to do this for like another like 5-6 years. And like, that's the other thing is like, you got to learn like how to not burn yourself out. But I feel like with having McCullough, obviously who has been an unbelievable help, once again, being in the position with sponsors and, organizations and Twitch streams and YouTube and all this kind of stuff. Like, I don't mind taking that money and putting it back into everything. I mean, I pay people a lot of money every month, but it helps me do more stuff. Paying McCullough, every month instead of 30-40 minute streams, like big promo days last year, it was fire up the stream, do the content real quick. Soon as I got the content, if it was a big day, I would have to end the stream because I would want to edit the video and post it to YouTube as fast as possible. Now I don't have to end my stream. So now I can at least get that 2, 3 hour stream rather than 1 hour if I'm lucky. I basically doubled and tripled my stream time, even though I'm not an 8, 9, 10 hour streamer. That 2, 3 hours guaranteed every day increased my revenue there, increased my sub count there, increased, more advertisements and sponsors. Then I could do sponsored streams for these other brands and stuff like that. And me willing to give up the money generated more revenue, which helped pay for itself and helped me, get better and make my content better. But it's also put me into a spot where I can just sometimes be done at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Like I streamed for 3 hours. I recorded my video. He's got the video. I'm going to the gym and I'm good for the day. And if I can get to a point where, I got the kid, we live luckily enough near, Shannon's parents, and her family is extremely well off, and they're, about retired anyways. And the mom is retired and the dad's almost retired. And, they're extremely great people, very chill, very relaxed. They're going to help out a ton when we first get here. She's basically going to live here probably like for the first year, and, once again, if I got to hire an editor, if I got to hire the people, I would rather pay for, be like, hey, like, I know I got to like buy a nanny or do like this stuff because I know it's probably a better investment than not doing it.
Mm.
Because even though if it does say cost me another like $600-700 a month, $1,000 a month, or whatever it's going to cost me, it's going to hurt me more if I stop doing my routine. So, yeah, nothing's going to change. Like,
Awesome.
literally nothing's going to change. The only thing that might change is you might see like a little kid like bouncing around like every once in a while, like right here, or something like that in the morning.
You're not gonna Michael Jackson and like cover the face and like be pixelated.
No. He's I'm pretty sure he's gonna be on social media day one, so he's gonna be good to go.
So, any names yet? Any names? We know the name's been thrown out there. I don't know if you have it or do you want to keep it a secret? It's okay.
We've been very, very, very iffy about the names. I haven't been like too great, but we haven't locked it down. But I'm leaning towards Carter. I really like the name Carter. I was thinking about Carter Maverick Morgan. She likes Carter Levi Morgan. But I think we're both like feeling the Carter. It's not 100% yet, but I'm liking it so far. I've been practicing out like, yo, Carter, just checking it out, like, Carter, don't do that. I'm just trying out different things,
Yeah, Carter, get over here. Carter, what are
exactly.
You doing, Carter? Stop eating the dog's food, Carter. Carter, that's not
exactly. You just gotta see how it rolls off the tongue. Just trying it out.
Yeah, definitely. What is your dog's name again? I don't.
His name is Ryder. His name is Ryder.
Okay, so we gotta make sure the name is not similar to the
dog.
No,
exactly. No, you can't have them be the same. Like
It looks like you got both of them coming at you. You don't know what's going on there.
They're both just running down the hall at the same time.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, awesome, man. Like I said, we're all super excited then to see young Carter make his way into a video someday and rip some bundles with you. Maybe get a bundle battle.
Of course. I mean,
you're gonna have baby bundle battles with Cece's kid or something like that.
I definitely want to vlog more. I would love to be able to have like a vlog channel and stuff. Vlogging is my favorite thing to do. If you go and watch, I have 1,800 videos, and my best 10 videos are like all vlogs. Like if you go look back at like some of the best times where I'm having fun and like doing stuff, like that's why COVID has sucked so much. Like the EA Play, the PAX, all that kind of stuff. I just loved doing, the traveling and the events, more than anything. And it's so hard to have natural fun content when you can't travel, you don't have the events, you don't have, tournaments and all this stuff that I was literally at a point where I was traveling, every month. Once a month, I was, it was PAX, it was TwitchCon, it was EA Play, it was E3, it was, TriStar signing events, it was, NBA draft stuff, NFL draft stuff. You add all that stuff in, you always got something to make a cool vlog on. Haven't been able to do that for a long time, but I think now with having the kid and doing some of this other stuff, I hope to be able to put in, put together maybe some type of, weekly vlog, twice a week vlog or something like that on a separate channel. But, that would probably be more, the family, the growing up, the kid, and that kind of stuff, its own, I just lost his name. Roman Atwood kind of thing, basically.
Well, I mean that's that was gonna be one of my questions. I don't want you to dive too far into it though, but is unless you wanted to, but just that was the whole event thing. I think just explaining those things to people that haven't been like because by the time I was thinking about doing them, I was like, man, I want to check out an event, maybe go check out some people. I was like, then like you say, everything gets shut down. Like, well, that might not be the same for a while. So I mean that
I
experience,
highly recommend events are the best thing. Um, Obviously, doing events correctly, being safe, and all that kind of stuff is definitely, a 100% factor. But going to tournaments, going to events, going to EA Play, going to a Twitch con, and it doesn't matter if you are actually the streamer or you're the person in the chat. Like, if you are passionate about this and this is something that you're in, and you're like one of the Twitter guys that's, on he's got all his YouTubers on notification, he's there. Like, go to TwitchCon, go to EA Play, meeting those people, going out with those people. If you're a smaller creator, like getting the chance to go and meet all the other creators, bigger creators, meet them in a real life, go to the bar with them, go out to dinner with them. Like, those are some of the biggest opportunities and experiences, and help you like really learn and know and open up, everything. It costs money. It costs a lot of money. It takes time. It takes, you got to sacrifice, a lot of stuff. A lot of people are like, oh, my wife doesn't want me to go to LA, but like, it, I feel like those are 100% necessary things that, like, if you really want to be a part of the community and really want to get the best experience possible, either as a creator or as a just a community member, you have to go to the events. Like, they are the best experiences, period. I mean, my literal greatest memories over 10 years have been all the events. Is just, hanging out with people. You can remember the pools and the games and all that kind of stuff. You're going to remember just chilling and drinking and having fun with, the people that are like passionate about the same thing. It's not like you're going out and you're just this is like your group, and you go out with people that are in the community. It's just a whole different experience. It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
I liken that to, I don't know if you're familiar with the Gathering of the Juggalos, but I've been I've been several times myself growing up, and I actually wrestled at one of those. And it's just like you said, you have a bunch of people around that have the exact same mindset as you. It's almost like you're like, I'm with my people. These are my people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then you make those type of bonds like you're talking about. But yes, hopefully those things can become a thing again, so that we can all, those who haven't experienced them will have a chance to do those really, really soon. But
Absolutely.
just to not again, I really want to thank you for your time. I don't want to take too much of it on this night, but just to end us off, just one more thing. What you got planned for the I don't think obviously you content create, that's something that you love, your passion about. You love, like you say, getting every morning with your guys, with us, talking to us in the morning. But is there, do you see anything down the road? Do you see maybe Scomo the sportscaster, Scomo the sports agent? Is there anything you see going down the road, or any of these boxes that you see yourself, peeking into?
I mean, obviously, as I get older, you see most of the streamers and everything like that. I think you can understand me a little bit, but a few years I'm gonna be 40, which is freaking nuts to like think about. But once again, my passion of networking and making people money and like making deals and knowing how to negotiate and that kind of stuff, like, I've always joked around, like, I would love to be like some type of like YouTuber, Jerry Maguire, like that type of like thing. Like, it would be very, very cool to get to a point where I'm like, okay, I got these big guys, I help them with these things. I got, my rookies that we're building up, and like, not so much like an organization, but just literally like have my own management company. I think would be something that like I would really like. I like being able to help people, give them ideas, not so much do the stuff for them or make decisions for them, but let really really good people understand sometimes all the opportunities and possibilities, because there's so many times that you see someone that has great talent or great vision or a great skill and they're so bad at other things. And um you know once again, talking to people seems like the easiest thing, but sometimes it's not for a lot of these people that just don't understand. Like, you can talk to maybe one type of person, but can you talk to a millionaire? Can you talk to a billionaire? Can you talk to a company correctly? Can, you know, people don't understand that when you're talking to someone that makes $30,000 a year or $50,000 a year or $100,000 a year or $500,000 a year compared to someone that makes $5 million a year, or they're in charge of a $50 million budget or $100 million budget. There's a lot of different things, and that's what I love doing the most, is coming up with great ideas to keep on growing the community, growing these platforms, give people the opportunities to do this stuff. So if the streaming and the YouTube stopped, it's because i'm I'm able to do this stuff for other people, I guess, would be the next thing. So
Kind of
yeah,
like The Rock.
that would.
Kind of like The Rock. Like, WWE until he just got too big for 2W. He's still got it there. But now The Rock is out there now. He's probably gonna be a president here before you know it. But
And I mean, as much as I would hate to admit it, I feel like I've obviously had my success as a YouTuber. 100,000 subscribers is wild, and I've been doing this for so long and able to pay my bills and support. So it's hard for me to say that I'm not successful. Obviously, I have been, but I feel like I'd be so much better at guiding people and managing people than I am, at making the content myself. And I've proved that a lot. I've helped people make some awesome deals and grow and that kind of stuff. So as much as I love doing that, that would be the one thing that would probably be that, that would be, I would even be more passionate about, is, grinding some type of like management company or something for like YouTubers in the community. Still be a part of the community, but just do it at a whole higher level. Like, not just my brand, be worrying about, 15, 20 different brands or something. That's how my brain works. I like being able to have like a million different things at once.
well, it sounds like you're throwing your ideas out there as you're saying them, because that definitely sounds like something that's needed, because as you can tell, you're asked 1,000 questions probably every day. What should I make a video on? What should I buy this card? What yeah, but then you're gonna have this other level of tier guys that are just wanting that are just about to break through or something, that say, what can I do? What's some strategies? And then you have this team, and then you have your consulting, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
But
there's just so many stuff, how to start, with the streaming setups, and then, how to build a brand, how to go about the graphics, how to initially start making friends and relationships with other companies, how to actually, present yourself, to be able to be, sponsorship friendly. Because I feel like a person like me, who obviously cusses, says whatever I want, not afraid of, a confrontation. Brands also know that I represent brands correctly, that, I know when to, present myself and what to do, and knowing how to turn it on for like that type of stuff is huge. Knowing, the keywords, how to handle emails, what people want when you present them stuff. Like, there's so many times, the recent thing going around right now is, the FanDuel. You see a lot of the streamers and stuff like that going around with FanDuel, and 99% of them all are working off of like a commission sign based sign up. I put a whole thing together where they gave me a little check up front and was like, here you go. And I was like, well, this is all the stuff I was going to be able to do. Could you just ask them and say, like, nah, I don't want the commission, just pay me X amount of dollars? They're gonna be like, no. But I presented them with a whole deck, a whole presentation, like, hey, I don't want to do the commission base. I don't feel like this is gonna work, especially since you're doing it with all these other people. What I can do is offer you this presentation, pushing this more stuff on a Twitch stream to be able to do it this, and give you the YouTube videos, and give you the retweets on the other stuff, and not so much push my code, but push your brand as a whole. What do you guys think about that? And they're like, oh yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. And I was like, all right, sweet.
Was somebody
like,
taking notes? Was somebody taking notes what he was saying? We need to be able to say that to somebody else next time.
and you know, Zerk and CC and all, you know, but that's what I like doing, and being, if I can get to a point where I can get that knowledge to like someone once again to, yeah, like you said, what equipment you need, how to start off, how to make thumbnails, how to create an intro, what you need to do, what are the stages, then to how to build a brand and how to get sponsorships and all that stuff. That's, once again, you got to find the stuff that you're good at and then try to capitalize on those things as much as you can. And that's what I'm just trying to do right now, is get as good as I can about learning brands and negotiating what this space is actually worth. And then once I feel like I've mastered that enough to be able to, you know, be able to give other people opportunities, maybe then that is the next path.
Oh. So you think that I didn't see a natural evolution there, as it just said?
You got to, you know,
Scomo
being able to evolve and just keep on rolling. Like nothing's going to last forever, but it's just being able to bounce and just keep on going. Like even like, yeah, I've been doing content creation for, you know, 10 years or whatever it is, but no way, shape, or form is it the same thing. You know, even last year, it's completely different. You know, you got to just mold and change and figure out what works. You know, that's more failures than success to get to this point. That's for sure. More failures than success.
And not being afraid to fail. To fail. It's because, awesome. Well, Scomo, I could sit here and talk to you, honestly, forever, and take all your time, because you have so much to share and so many great stories, and not to mention knowledge that you could bestow upon me and everyone else who's going to see this video. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you get out of here. But
of course, man.
One last thing.
Okay.
Why are the Giants going to lose the division this year?
I feel like they've made some good changes. I mean, you know, obviously, I'll give you that your football team, the team with no name, it's looking good. You know, they've definitely, you know, do look good. But let's just be completely honest. When you're a good team and you're the best team in the worst division, it really doesn't mean too much, because let's be honest, we're all trash. And you know, whoever gets like 7 wins again will probably make it to the playoffs, you know, but I feel like the Giants at least made moves. They've made some free agency moves. We picked up some people. They started improving a little bit towards the end of the year last year, but I really feel like this is going to be a make it or break it year. You know, if they don't make the playoffs and they don't have a huge improvement, I think you got to clean house and, you know, start again. You can't be a major market team. You can't be in New York and go through too many years of rebuild without trying. You know, once again, you could try something. If it didn't work, race the board and, you know, draw up a new plan. So seems like they're trying to make some things shake up this year. Big year for Daniel Jones. Obviously got to see if Saquon comes back really well. You know, got some help on the offense. You know, need Andrew Thomas to, you know, improve more. You know, first few games, didn't even know he had hands. At least he found those by the end of the season. But I don't know. I'm excited at least to watch the Giants. You know, it's gonna be interesting. The entire NFC East just literally just terrifies me, because they're really good. They're mostly really, really bad. When you watch them, you're like, ooh, great play. Holy cow, they all suck. Like, that's basically all the NFC East was. They're like, oh, man, Chase Young, he was really oh, yeah, we still suck.
Daniel Jones is going all the way. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it was, you know.
I'm going to be, exactly, they've got something to hold division. And to be honest with you, you know, I have a podcast with my nephew. We do Allies Behind Enemy Lines. We both live in Texas. We're Washington fans, grew up, you know, Washington fans, which you can imagine. But I've always said last year that I always thought the Giants were the best team in the division, even when you guys were winless. You know, even I saw we're all like of these teams, the Giants, which they did beat, you guys did beat us twice.
Yeah.
They are the best team in the division, and I think that you're getting Saquon back. Daniel Jones, even when they drafted him above everyone's like, what they do? Why they draft him above Dwayne Haskins? I don't know if he's better than. I don't know that Dwayne Haskins is not better than him, but I don't know how good he is. But I've always thought Daniel Jones is good as well. So you guys have some promise. I definitely think that everyone's gonna say Dak just because they threw all that money at him, but I think that.
Oh yeah.
I still think that your team is the team that I fear the most. As Saquon hits his stride, as well as Daniel Jones and all those receivers you have now. I mean,
the Giants look good on paper. The problem is no one pays attention to offensive and defensive line on paper, and that's literally where it comes down to, the majority of the time. But I think they're making a little bit of improvements. I really want to see what happens in the draft and maybe scratch one more little trade or free agency move or something. I shake it up. I would like to see something, happen. But I feel like I was saying it like this was going to be the craziest offseason. I think all teams are hungry. And I think you're seeing way more teams, take risks, trade a big name, do something than you have, in the past. And I mean, that's the way the NFL is right now. If you did not win the Super Bowl, obviously you were not the best team. Let's change some shit up. That's kind of my thought about it. The Bucks are the only team that I can think of. Sign everyone back. Let's run it back. Unless you're the Bucks, that's it. That's pretty much my thought.
Yeah, but
I appreciate you, man.
Moves. Yeah, man. Yeah, most quarterbacks, I think changes they're going to have. They project this year in a long time. So you're right. They're shaking it up. But yes, Scomo, thank you very much for your time, man. Good luck on everything. Fatherhood, the content creating as it's coming. Always hit me up if you need anything. Have any fatherly advice? I could definitely shoot you some.
I appreciate it, man. Keep on grinding. Obviously, being a smaller channel and still trying to grow and get your name out there. Like I tell everyone, don't be frustrated, especially at this point of the year. There's going to be times, as much as it is luck, if you put yourself in the spot for the opportunity, you keep on making the content, you keep on pushing yourself, you just got to be there for your opportunity, for your push, for your lucky moment, and stay on top of everything. Especially being a smaller content creator, getting to the slower times, it gets even harder and harder and harder to stay motivated. But the more that you can keep on pushing yourself, the more that's going to pay off to when everything starts spinning back up again. Keep on grinding, bro.
Get mad, read.
Of course, man. Of course.
Take it easy. Have a good one.
Get mad, read.
Later, bro. Later.